Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Shanae Nicole, his millennial housewife, and welcome to day 13 of the Proverbs 31 and 22 challenge. Today we are on verse 22, and it says that she maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. And I read it in a few different translations, and it'll say that her clothing is of fine linen. She makes for herself coverings or bedspreads. And the idea for today is the virtuous woman, she understands the value of self-love. So why do I say that? Because she is making for herself coverings and bedspreads and things like that. Well, these are all things that only her and her husband see. You know, she's making these things for her bedroom. Then no one else is going to see those. But yet she's putting in the effort. She sees the value and the importance of not only making sure that everyone outside gets the best of her, but that she puts her best foot forward for herself and her husband experiences the best of her. So she's paying attention to the ambiance in the bedroom. She's making sure that the environment is inviting and warm for when it's time for her and her husband to come together. And not only that, but she dresses the part. And I think sometimes we can get the wrong idea. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean that she's spending a lot of money to look good. You know, it says in the scripture that she's making these things herself. She's not even necessarily buying them. But the idea that I want to bring out for us in the real world is that she's putting in the effort to look her best. And that's why I kind of dressed up a little bit more today. But just to show that sometimes we have to put in extra effort to make sure that, you know, we ourselves are feeling good. You know, when you get dressed up, you just feel different. You carry yourself differently. And I think that sometimes, especially housewives, we can get lost in this, right? Some of us, you haven't gotten dressed all week. You just been in chill mode the whole week because you've been like doing stuff with the kids and everything. But I want to challenge you guys to make sure that you're, you know, when you walk by the mirror and see yourself, you're not like, dang girl, you know, you need to do your hair or something, you know. And I want to also stress the point that it doesn't take a whole lot. You can put in effort without and still be on your budget. You know, you can still, like, I still have my hair in a bun, but I just wanted to make sure that it was extra neat. You know, I put on some makeup, put on a dress. These are the type of things that that can help you, that can help motivate you and make you feel better. You know, sometimes you might need to go treat yourself to a mani-pedi or, you know, whatever that is, you know, because beauty, that's subjective. You know, everybody's styles are different. And I know for me, I love convenience. I told you guys, you know, how I am with the kitchen and the food. You know, I want convenience. Well, that transcends across everything pretty much that I do. And, you know, I'm taking from this too, like, you don't always have to look for what's convenient. You don't always have to be in what's the most comfortable, right? Because, you know, even though our husbands, a lot of times they like when we're dressed down or we don't have on a lot of makeup. But sometimes it's nice to get dolled up, you know what I mean? Whatever that might look like for you. But sometimes they need to see that. They need to see that you're putting in that extra effort. So I want to encourage you to do that, you know, and also allow them to have an input on what that looks like to them. You know, sometimes we put more stake into what our friends say or what society, what the fad is or the style is at the time, that we don't really pay attention to what our husband says. And our husband's opinion should be the top. It should matter the most to us because we have to see them the most. They're the ones that has to be attracted to us, you know. So allow them to have an input. You know, sometimes we say like, you know, he ain't got nothing to say about this. He don't know what it's like to do my hair, so he don't have nothing to say. Well, there's a balance to that. You know what I mean? Allow him to be involved in those type of decisions. Me and my husband, I know we've been married for 5 years now. And when we first got married, there were a lot of things that he was very vocal about. He's vocal, period, but a lot of things that he was vocal about that he didn't like. And I did take those things into consideration. And some things that I didn't do. There were some things that's like, well, I like this, so I'm going to wear this. but I didn't make it where I just purposely was doing things that I knew that he didn't like. You know, it's important to me that he's attracted to me. You know, that he sees what he likes in me, not just other people. You know what I mean? So I want to kind of put that out there because sometimes we can make rash decisions, like, you know, off of emotion or just because we want to. Like, I'm just cutting all my hair off, and you know he like your long hair, or you know you're gonna get this wig, and you know he don't like wigs. I'm struggling with this, y'all. I want to get a wig, but I know he don't like wigs. But I'm saying when you put in this effort, you know, it does count for something. And I believe that God will honor it too. Because like I said, we first got married, there were things that I didn't do. But, you know, as time went on, he got more relaxed. He got more relaxed. And it was more like, okay, I'm like, babe, you know, I want to try this hairstyle, or I want to do this. And he's like, okay. And, you know, that's a huge step. Because before it'd be like, no, I don't like that. I don't like that. You know, and now it's, you know, I feel like because I was trying to honor him in that way, it came back to me to where I have even more creative freedom, so to speak. And not to say that, because we're so big on, like, he don't have nothing to say, he got control over you, you know, but that's not the idea, and that's not what I'm trying to put forth with marriage. You know, it's a team. Sometimes we do have to compromise. I know that he grows out his beard, not necessarily because he wants it, because he knows I like it, you know. So sometimes we can overreact and take it to a whole nother level because of this woman empowerment. It's like, you do what you want to do, you're successful, you know, you can wear the pants too. Well, our husbands have a say. We should allow them to have a say in our physical appearance. So I want to encourage you, if you're not doing that, to do it. And then if you do have a husband who is more laid back, which you definitely could have, I've heard some women, they say, you know, their husband isn't really particular, but they just want her to be confident. Like, as long as I'm confident, I can pretty much do what I want. So in that sense, make sure that you are feeling confident. Do what it is that's necessary to put your best foot forward, to feel your best, you know, whatever that looks like, because it's different for certain people, you know what I mean? But whatever that looks like for you. And like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to spend a lot of money. You can be resourceful. You know, some of you guys are great at thrifting, or you might be great at doing your own makeup, your own hair. I know when I was coming up and when we first got married, I did my own hair, I did my own nails, you know, a lot of stuff just to save money. So it's not necessarily tied to, well, we on a budget, and I could look better if you would just let me spend this money here. You know, use what it is that you have now. Be a good steward of what you have now, and then God will reward you with more. So I hope that this blesses you guys. I will talk to y'all very soon for day 14.